Welcome back again. Ex-Premier League midfielder and pundit Steve McManaman has said that Erik ten Hag is not under pressure at Man United. Speaking to Betfred, McManaman was asked if the United boss was in trouble and said, "I personally don't believe he is. I'm not a United fan, but I looked at their injury problems this season, and you can completely understand why they're struggling. When they get these players back, then they'll be a lot stronger, and they have a good run of fixtures coming up." Liverpool were in a similar situation last season with their volume of injuries, so as an outsider you can appreciate the issues that Manchester United are currently dealing with. I don't think that Erik ten Hag is under pressure because he's had to deal with a lot of different issues, and up to now, he's dealt with these issues really well. Meanwhile, Sofyan Amrabat made his full United debut yesterday after signing from Fiorentina on loan. The midfielder has been open about the fact that he has always dreamed of playing for United and had this to say, "Since I was a child, I worked for this. I worked very hard my whole career, my whole life for this. To play here is amazing. It's Tuesday and the stadium is full. It's fantastic." Elsewhere, Antony flies back to UK to face police over allegations amid man-ut leave of absence. Antony is currently not under consideration to play for Manchester United as he battles allegations of violence with police in the UK and Brazil conducting an investigation. Manchester United winger Antony is flying back to the UK to speak to police to address assault allegations made against him, which he has denied. The Brazilian winger is currently on a leave of absence from United as he battles allegations of assault from former girlfriend Gabriela Cavallin. Greater Manchester Police and Sao Paulo Police have been conducting an investigation with Antony denying the claims. The former Ajax star has been back in his homeland but is set to return to British shores where he will have a face-to-face meeting with police. According to The Sun, Antony was at Sao Paulo airport for flights to Spain and then to Manchester and was pictured with a suitcase, a rucksack on his back, and a wash bag. "I have agreed with Manchester United to take a period of absence while I address the allegations made against me," Antony said in a statement. "This was a mutual decision to avoid distraction to my teammates and unnecessary controversy for the club. I want to reiterate my innocence of the things I have been accused of, and I will fully cooperate with the police to help them reach the truth. I look forward to returning to play as soon as possible." Man United confirmed earlier this month that Antony would not represent the club amid the ongoing allegations. A statement from the Red Devils read, "Manchester United acknowledges the allegations made against Antony. Players who have not participated in international matches are due back in training on Monday. However, it has been agreed with Antony that he will delay his return until further notice in order to address the allegations. As a club, we condemn acts of violence and abuse. We recognize the importance of safeguarding all those involved in this situation and acknowledge the impact these allegations have on survivors of abuse." Cavallin alleged that Antony had headbutted and punched her in a hotel room on January 14th, the day after a Premier League game against Manchester City. She claims to have suffered a cut to her head and a damaged breast implant. Antony has made 48 appearances for Man United since his arrival from Dutch giants Ajax for 88 teams last summer. He has scored 8 goals and provided 3 assists in that time. He has been absent for the last 4 Red Devils games. Erik ten Hag's side kicked off their Champions League and Carabao Cup campaigns, whilst also facing Premier League clashes against Brighton and Burnley. The Red Devils are back in league action this weekend as they face a rematch with Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. United eased to a 3-0 win over the Eagles on Tuesday night to reach the 4th round of the League Cup again and again. Erik ten Hag warned his Man United players not to get carried away, despite the Carabao Cup holders cruising into the next round. United made it back-to-back wins after 3 successive defeats. Goals from Alejandro Garnacho, Casemiro, and Anthony Martial sealing a comfortable win over Crystal Palace. Despite improving after such a poor start to the season, ten Hag warned his players to focus on the next game, against Palace again at Old Trafford on Saturday in the Premier League. The United boss also warned teenage winger Garnacho he must contribute more if he is to command a regular starting place for United. "We dominated the game. We had some good attacks, control in possession, and scored great goals," said Ten Hag. "We know we're not in the position we want to be, so we have to build." Again and again, Amrabat makes honest admission about his fitness after full of United debut. Amrabat made his full United debut in Tuesday night's 3-0 win over Palace. United midfielder Amrabat admitted that he is in need of regular game time to increase his fitness levels after making his first start for the club against Crystal Palace on Tuesday evening. The Morocco international, who was drafted in on loan from Fiorentina earlier this month, made his full debut as United cruised into the fourth round of the Carabao Cup with a routine 3-0 win at Old Trafford. Goals from Garnacho, Casemiro, and Martial sealed a second successive win for Ten Hag's side. Despite being added to the squad on transfer deadline day to beef up United's midfield options, Amrabat was deployed at left-back against the Londoners, tucking into midfield when the Reds had possession of the ball. He looked measured and assured in the role, providing an insight into what he will bring to M16 over the course of this season. It marked his second appearance for the club since his arrival almost a month ago, with his first coming as a late substitute against Burnley at the weekend. He missed the recent defeats to Brighton and Bayern due to injury. "I'm not at my best at the moment because I've not had a perfect preseason and a little injury," Amrabat told Sky Sports. "I've trained really hard the last 2 or 3 weeks to get to 100%. But I need games. If you play games, you get stronger and better. It's not been the most easy time, but it's clear. United is a huge club. The pressure is high, but we want this. We want to win, and we'll push very hard to win and give the fans much more." On making his first appearance at Old Trafford for United, the Fiorentina loan continued. "Since I was a child, I worked for this. I worked very hard my whole career, my whole life for this. To play here is amazing." Elsewhere, Amrabat will play anywhere in United, even goalkeeper. He said that, "I play where you need me, where the team needs me, even if it's goalkeeper." Meanwhile, Ten Hag refuses to comment about Sancho as unavailable media asked, "Is Sancho's situation now closer to being resolved?" Ten Hag replied that, "I'm sorry, but I don't comment about unavailable players. Sorry again. I just don't want to comment." Media asked again, but he deleted Instagram account. "Is a good step of his return? I don't know. It's up to him. But I don't comment about players not available." Ten Hag replied, again and again. Manchester United hero John O'Shea advised Sancho to end his standoff with manager Ten Hag and apologize. He said that, "Very simply for me, it boils down to an argument between the manager and a player. Ultimately, the manager generally wins, and that's always been the case. If Jadon wants to get back playing football for United as quickly as possible, look, maybe he might not mean it, but just go and apologize. Then you're back involved in the squad and back involved with a chance to play. I know it's not ideal with how public it's been, but it can be resolved very quickly." On the other side, Roma boss Jose Mourinho is keeping tabs on Manchester United's out-of-favor ace Jadon Sancho. According to Il Romanista, the Giallorossi are considering a loan swoop ahead of the January transfer window. The winger has been axed from the first team after lashing out against United manager Ten Hag on social media. Reports suggest the England international will only return to the fold if he apologizes to Ten Hag. Again and again, United legend Steve Bruce claims Andre Onana could help Maguire find his feet. Bruce claims Onana's assertiveness and his commanding presence could help Maguire improve. He said that, "The way that the manager likes to use Onana like a sweeper, he is an extra body in the build-up play, so that might help Harry Maguire. It could attract a player that allows him more space to dribble out with the ball. It can only be a positive for him to be playing." Meanwhile, Manchester United defeated Crystal Palace 3-0 at Old Trafford and punched their ticket to the fourth round of the Carabao Cup. Palace were unlucky as goalkeeper Dean Henderson hobbled off with an injury on his debut after just 19 minutes. and was replaced by fellow United Academy graduate Sam Johnstone. The Red Devils opened the scoring just 2 minutes later after a stunning long ball by Mount found Pellistri on the right. Pellistri passed to Dalot, who set Garnacho up in front of goal, and the winger netted his first of the season after a deflection off Rob Holding. The United Giants doubled their lead on 27 minutes when Mount's delivery from a corner kick down the right found Casemiro, who beat Johnstone with a cracking header. The Brazil international sealed the win for United 10 minutes into the second half, as he set Anthony Martial up with a scintillating ball that allowed the forward to score his first goal of the season from a tight corner down the left. Again and again. Let's back to the sag of Jadon Sancho. It's confirmed that Man United boss Erik ten Hag has no intention of backing down in his standoff with Jadon Sancho. Ten Hag will not allow Sancho to return to first-team training until he apologizes. Sancho has not featured for the club this month after saying on social media he has been a scapegoat for a long time on September 3rd. That was in response to Ten Hag stating he did not select the winger in the squad for the defeat at Arsenal due to his performance in training. United were hoping that the matter would have been resolved during the international break, with Director of Football John Murtough and CEO Richard Arnold trying to mediate. There is still no compromise from either party, and United maintain an apology from Sancho to Ten Hag is key to a resolution.